Aloha friends! I hope you guys are having a wonderful weekend. It is Saturday, so wanted to show you guys what I did last night. I basically did my own canvas photo print to put into my girls' room, and this is Miss Danielle. Both my girls had a hula recital last Friday, as I've been mentioning to you guys. That's why I've been so busy not filming. I was so busy doing their costumes, and this is one of them, and prepping up for the recital for their hula Polynesian dance group. So I finally did their photo shoot and printed it out, and I made a canvas out of it, and I'm so proud of it. So this is the canvas. This is the finished edge. As you guys can see, it's very well done. I don't want to toot my own horn, but I think it looks awesome, and I wanted to share this DIY with you guys today, so that you guys can also try and make it for, you know, yourself or grandkids, kids of your own, couples vacation photos, that you guys can create your own canvas instead of paying that ridiculous price that you guys pay for, or that we pay for at like the local lab sites or online lab ordering sites. So this one is a 16 by 20 canvas print, or canvas, what do you call this? Just a canvas, over at Hobby Lobby, and I bought those yesterday. So let me show you the before. Okay, so this is the finished product, and I'm zooming in, and look at that straight edge, very tacked in there with the medium that I used. I think it really turned out awesome. And focusing in, you can see it's not like a smudge, but it's like a brush stroke that you guys are able to see when you do purchase the professional canvas. But this is mine, and I think it looks wonderful. So I'm gonna place it over here, and I'm gonna show you guys the process that I went through, which is really easy. Okay, so put that up there, and like I said, I started with I'm gonna work on Miss Danny's. I started with two white canvas that I got from Hobby Lobby. It was a 2-pack for $7.99 for a 16 by 20, so it's a pretty big size. And then you're still able to use the 40% off coupon for the 2-pack. And so for these two, this one and that one of canvas, it cost me $5.99. So you're gonna need any size canvas you want, and then print your pictures to the size of the canvas. Alright, aside from the print and the canvas, you will need Mod Podge, and the type of Mod Podge you need is the Mod Podge Gloss Luster, and I prefer to buy the big size. This was $6.99 over at Joann's with a 40% off coupon, and this project over here only used up to here, so this will go a long while. So this will take you a lot of projects to use up. Then a 39-cent sponge brush, a little dipping container that you could pour the Mod Podge in, and this is I think this is called a rotary cutting tool that I had to use for one of my daughter's hula costumes. It's basically gives you a straight cut when you need to trim off your picture, because over at Costco I printed off a 16 by 20 print of Miss Danny and Miss Danielle, and if you guys notice, all around the photo it has a like a 1/4 inch or an 1/8 of an inch border, white border, so that overlaps the 16 by 20 canvas. And so all I did was use my rotary cutting tool with my mat, and basically cut along all around here of trimming the white edges off of Miss Danielle. Now we'll do the same thing for this one, and I'll show you guys how I do it. And let's go ahead and start off the process to get from a blank canvas to a beautiful canvas photo of your favorite image. Okay, let's go. Here's Miss Danny's print, and I've already cut off 3 of the edges, and they are right here. So 3 strips already, which is this side, and that side. And this is such a very handy tool. I should have bought this years ago when I first started making my girls' hula costumes. But it basically gives you a very straight edge cut. So all I do is just align Miss Danny's print, put this in here, which has a lot of measurements in, and then so I'm basically gonna align it to where I need to cut it, and this is just for sample purpose. And then I have my rotary, and I'm not gonna pop the blade up so I can just show you guys. So basically I'm gonna press on this so it has a hard surface to rub up against, and then I basically just go along, because if you push this down, it's a very sharp blade. But I'm gonna basically press down onto it just like that, and then it's gonna cut it, and then it's gonna give me the white strip border that I don't need for the canvas. Okay, so I'll go ahead and do that. After you've done trimmed up your photo, all you have to do is put in a thin coat layer of the Mod Podge into your canvas, which I already have, but I'm going to show you guys how I did it. So not too much, and basically just make sure that it evenly applies so that there is no lump into the canvas. Let it, I've done this already all throughout and also along all the edges, and make sure that there is no clump along the edges. So I've made sure that I've gone through it with a brush and basically smooth it out. And what I did with Miss Danielle, because that was the very first canvas that I've ever made, was that I let it air dry just for a few minutes, I think it was just less than a minute, just so that it starts getting a little bit tacky when you press on it, so that the photo, you're going to place the photo on top, and make sure you get rid of all the bubbles. So when you place the photo on top, start from the middle and push outwards. Make sure you got a clean hand so that you're not spreading the glue onto the top of the image, and basically flatten it out so that you have no bubbles, no air bubbles, and try to align it as evenly as possible on all 4 edges so that you do have a clean edge like this one. Alright, so I'm just gonna go ahead and let that air dry for a little bit, and then I'm gonna place the photo. And I can't show you guys that because I only have one hand and I want to make sure I do it right, but I'll show you the process once I place the photo in here. Okay, see you guys in a bit. I've already placed the photo onto the canvas, and I'm using this this mat that I showed you guys earlier of when I used the rotary tool to cut the edges. I wanted to have a clean surface, so I got one of these tricks on Pinterest. Tomorrow's video, I'm actually gonna show you guys the world of Pinterest, because this is where I learned to do this, was through Pinterest. And then another site showed me a trick of how this one lady did it, and what she did was she placed the picture evenly on the canvas, then she flipped it over, which I already did. So this is why the back end, and pressed on it on the back side of the canvas like I'm doing now, and basically pressing out all the air bubbles. Now this is such a good trick with this canvas, because when it's on the right side like this, it's so hard to press onto it because there's nothing holding onto the canvas. This is the open part, but when you flip it over, like how I just did, you're able to smooth out all the air bubbles much more easier. Right now there is no air bubble whatsoever. And then basically tap onto the edges, because you're making sure that the photo adheres to the canvas. Okay, and I have not flipped it over yet, so hopefully it turned out really good. Oops. And there is my photo of Miss Danny. I think it turned out really good. I think the edges are very evened out. Very happy with it. You could also paint your edges black or gray or whatever matches your decor. I wanted these white because the girls' room is black and white, and I wanted the canvas to kind of stand out from their black frame bed, their day beds. But the next time I make another one, I will color the edges a different color. But basically, the photo is now drying onto the canvas through the Mod Podge. Now this will need to be dried for, gosh, probably an hour or so, and it's a waiting game. Try not to hurry yourself of doing this process, because it needs time to basically for the photo to adhere to the canvas. And then once this is completely dry, we're gonna do another process of the Mod Podge, which, as you guys, I don't know if you guys can tell with the with this film, but this is just straight photo on top of canvas. You see how glossy it is? This is the Mod Podge, and you see how matted, glossy but yet matted finish it is. I was scared, to be honest. I was scared to apply Mod Podge over this, because this is the final process, is applying, basically going through the Mod Podge and then applying it onto the photo. I was very hesitant. I did not want to ruin it. But since it was my first time, I just basically wanted to follow the instructions. So happy that I did, because I do love this type of finish compared to this glossy finish on the canvas. Okay, so I'll see you guys soon once this dries. It's been about an hour and 15-20 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and take the crazy step of applying the Mod Podge over the picture. And I'm not gonna record it because I'm just holding on to the camera. So basically I put on a new one, because you don't want to use the Mod Podge that you used about an hour or 2 hours ago. It would probably have clumped up, and you want to use a smooth of a medium. Medium is basically what type of product you're using onto your project, and the medium is Mod Podge. You want it to be as smooth as possible with no clumps, because you're gonna dip the brush in here. And again, I cleaned it and I tried to get as much of the imperfections out as I can. I'm not gonna use this part. I'm just gonna be basically using the tip, so these parts are okay. Dip it in, and not too much, just enough to be able to sponge it on. And when you sponge it on, do it in the same way each time. So if you're gonna go up and down, just go up and down. I chose to go left and right, and when you choose to go left and right, try to smooth out especially the faces, and then don't leave clumps. Try to even it out as much as you can, because this one I tried to smooth it out as much as I can, but if you guys notice, it's gonna have the texture still in there. And I think it was over here that I left a little bit of a clump on that edge. and you can barely see it, but it is noticeable, and you don't want to be able to do that mistake onto the faces or right into the middle of the canvas. You know, the edges are fine, that's not too noticeable, but if it was somewhere in the middle, especially on a light area, then you'd be able to see it. Okay, so wish me luck. It looks so perfect, you don't want to ruin it, but I guarantee that it's gonna look even beautiful, just like that one. Okay, see you guys in a bit. Alright, I've applied the Mod Podge, and I tried to be as smooth as I can, but once you apply it, it does tend to thicken up. That's why I only put a little bit of amount at a time, and I'm concerned about the areas here, but I'm not gonna even touch it, because the more I touch it, the worse that I think it's going to get. But it will dry out, so I have good thoughts that it will dry out, because for this one, all the pieces dried out and it dried out clear. So I'm just gonna leave it alone. So when you feel like you've messed up, just leave it alone. Do the best that you can, and then just basically let it dry out. And this is a, where is it? Oh, this is a clump right here that, there. And that's it, guys. Just once this dries out in an hour or so, then I'm hoping that it's gonna turn out as good as that one. Okay, wish me luck. See you guys in a bit. Alright everyone, I am very happy with the result. It is almost completely dry, but I'm gonna go ahead and close it up now so I can upload it. The smudge that was here is now almost completely gone. It's still a little bit wet, but I'm assured that it will basically just dry out clear. There's no other smudges except for around here, and that's because of the lighting. This is why I like to work over here underneath my kitchen cabinet, is because it has the best lighting. But other than that, of it still being a little bit wet, it is complete. So I'm just gonna go ahead and close it up and let you guys know I am so happy with this. I hope that you guys enjoyed my little DIY for today. Bye. Mahalo.